I'm going to, if this works, there it is. Oh. So, can we have it in presenter? Perfect, all right. So I'm going to introduce the Patricia Blockchain to you. This is a newly launched network that is solving for confidential computation, and I will talk more about what that means for blockchain and what we do with this network. So this is a picture of the team. From Tuesday this week, we had the token generation event, and the champagne was popping. Everyone was celebrating the launch of the network. So we do this, and I'll talk about this, but the team goes back a long way. So we have been working with multi-party computation, which is a decentralized cryptography for solving for privacy. So we were the team pioneering this field. Back in 2008, we had the first commercial use of that. 2013, we brought that into key management with specialized protocols. So these are the kind of technology that Coinbase, PayPal, SBI Group is buying into these days. But you can do a lot more with MPC, and that's what we're doing with this project, where we bring in the full spectrum, the generic use of MPC. And we started to bring this into blockchain in 2017, building applications that is solving various coordination tasks with privacy built in. And we're now ready to bring this tool to the rest of the community, and I will show you how we do that. So the basic value added, what we do with blockchain is basically you have cryptographic enforcement of the basic traits of goods and services. So with this, you basically replace what is known as a trustee in the economy. So you have cryptographic enforcement of control and privacy of data. So that means a lot, and I'll get back to that, but that's really the added value with this technology. We're specialized in this. We want to bring that across the network, and the way we do that is by doing first we do a design of the token economy in a decoupled way. So this is illustrating that. We are providing that MPC token. You can buy that and you can stake that, and then you can run a node in the system. When you run a node, you become part of a revenue stream of external coins coming in. So that's a bridge here that brings in external liquid coins. So what we're solving with this is that, first of all, we don't have this conflict between store values and means of payment. And secondary, we are partnering, or we are aligning ourselves in economic terms with the networks that we are partnering with. So we bring in ADA from Cardano and delivering back privacy-preserving computation. That's one of the features of how we go to market with this network. The first one, where we have been integrating with Ethereum, we have partnership with Emergo and Cardano. We have Polygon. We are bridging and bringing in these coins and delivering back privacy through cross smart contract operations. The second part is like any layer one, where we have a launchpad, we're helping people to build on the network. And the second, or the third column here is sustainable development goals and flagship projects, where we are focusing on solving some of the challenging problems that the world is facing. So in doing that, we are also showcasing the capability of the network, and makes it easier for people to come in and see what they can use this type of network for. And there's a lot of more partners coming in soon. I'll come back to these use cases. But before that, I just want to spend a little bit of time diving into the design and the features that is built into this network. So we're now in a stage where we have to tell the world, market this new layer one. And we brought in an army of Greek gods, and the king of gods, Zeus, is the entire stack. So if we start from the top, we have a provable fast-track consensus. Provable means that you cannot sign a transaction unless you constructed the blockchain, so that's a cryptographic proof for doing that. We have complete sharding. So these two is providing a very efficient, scalable, transparent network. Then we have, as discussed before, we bring in external coins, which is a native part of the network. So we spend a lot of time designing a collateral bridge, which is making it more secure to bring in external coins to the network. The next two is all about the privacy. So the first one is that we have a privacy layer, which means that you can come into the network and you can use the public layer, you can use the private layer. So you as a developer really decide on when you're doing coordination of public information or completely private information. So you can do any level of privacy on top of this. Demeter is the MPC as a service solution. So that is what allows you to do the privacy-preserving computations. We're extending on existing smart contracts to allow developers to tap into all the tricks you can use when you want to run MPC in an efficient way. The last one is a market for trust. So we're basically incentivizing the node operators in a way that the most trusted node is the one that is rewarded the most. So that it both goes for the relative performance in the peer-to-peer network, but it also goes for the user's perception of the nodes when they select into a subset of nodes to run private and trusted computations. These features is basically solving for these three objectives. So it's scalability from the first two features. We have privacy, and we have interoperability. And that is solved by three different roles in the network. We could talk a lot about this, but I think I will run out of time very soon. So come up after the show, and I can tell you what is on these slides for the scalable layer 1, for the MPC as a service, for the collateral staked bridging, which is, by the way, with a security level at the consensus level. So this is not a small subset of nodes that is trusted. This is the entire network. But instead of that, I will talk about the applications. So what can we use this for? And we'll talk about some of these SDG flagship projects, and also touch on Web 3.0 and why we need this network to really bring Web 3.0 to reality. The first one is a collaboration that we have been doing with the NGO world, the Global Fund, RED, and Binance Charity. So this is all about helping NGOs that have never been involved in crypto before go in and see how they can use NFT to fundraise for good causes. So it's pretty straightforward. We have a piece of art that is sold, the proceeds go to the Global Fund. But the Global Fund then sends back information of what they actually use these funds for, so you create some transparency. And then you can sell that piece of art again, and you can raise more money for the Global Fund that would do more good, and they can send back and tell about the good that they're doing for the proceeds. And they keep selling the same piece of art. So what you have here is you're starting out with a piece of art and you're ending up with a fundraising story. So you can sort of keep telling the same or enrich this piece of art in principle. So that's what we're testing, and that's what they bought into, these NGOs, and we raised about $500,000 for the test of this approach, or proof of business, I guess it is. We're discussing with them what to do next, but this is definitely a good start for a new way to fundraise for the NGO world. This is another project that is also solving a very big problem. So in sub-Saharan Africa, it's more than 70% of all medicine that is counterfeit, which is a huge number. So this is going to address that. And it's using two tools to do that. First of all, we have money coming into the system. So this is subsidized healthcare. So this could be the Global Fund from before that is subsidizing this. Putting money into the bank, we create a stable coin, which is used in a network to buy this medicine. And when doing that, we run forensic on the medicine and to check if this is a counterfeit medicine or not. And in doing that, we need to bring in data from the supply chain of the last pharmacy company, which is proprietary information. But we can do that with the privacy layers to solve this problem in a better way. So that's another project, and it's already signed an agreement with the African World Free Trade Zone. So this is like 50 different countries in Africa. the last one is one we announced last week. It's collaboration with the Cyber Peace Institute. And this is all about using the technology to share intelligence about cyber breaches. So what happens today is that you don't share these breaches when it happens because you're vulnerable, because it might impact your reputation, etc. So what we're doing here and what we're testing is a confidential sharing of these indicators of compromises, and do that immediately when they occur. And they can do that without exposing themselves to their vulnerabilities or that they are affected by a cyber breach. So we're testing that and see how far we can go with this, this idea. The last slide here is all about Web 3.0. So Web 3.0 is all about this user-centric internet. So our claim is that if you really want to make the network user-centric, you need to have a tool, cryptographic enforcement of your data and your control of the data. And that's exactly what we're bringing in here. So this would allow you to now become a critical part in the data economy or the internet economy and claim your fair share of the values generated in the Web 3.0. And we believe that this is kind of the tool that is needed to take up the battle against the Web 2.0 business model. And it's a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot stronger than coming with the legal enforcement or antitrust regulation. So that also brings us to some of the applications that we're looking at beyond what I just presented. A number of use cases where the control and the privacy is crucial to solve these problems. So this is things like benchmarking performances across competing companies. It's like matching, off-exchange matching of demand and supply in financial markets. This is trade finance. This is a number of different things. It's also like one of these promising things that people have been talking about forever, like privacy preserving bidding agents, agents that is helping you out there in the economy. But with an automated blockchain with privacy, you actually have the tools needed to realize what people have been talking about since the 90s. And even before that. So with that, I will conclude and just thank you, and please join the network and go to the homepage and see what we can do for you. Thank you.